Hello. This is the reading for the Advent Devotional of December 8th from John Piper's Joy to the World. The title for this Thursday is Bethlehem's Supernatural Star, and the text is from Matthew chapter 2, verse 2. Where is he who has been born King of the Jews? For we saw his star when it rose, and we have come to worship him. That was, of course, the question of the Magi to King Herod, or to the scientists in King Herod's court, and Mr. Piper's devotional. Over and over, the Bible baffles our curiosity about how certain things happened. How did this star get the Magi from the east to Jerusalem? It does not say that it led them or went before them. It only says they saw a star in the east, that's verse 2, and came to Jerusalem. And how did that star go before them? In the little 5-mile walk from Jerusalem to Bethlehem. That's the mention in verse 9. And how did the star stand over the place where the child was? Another quote from the story. The answer is, according to Mr. Piper, we do not know. There are numerous efforts to explain it in terms of the conjunctions or the coming together of planets or comets or supernovas or miraculous lights in the heavens and the night sky. But the truth is, we just don't know. Mr. Piper goes on to say, I want to exhort you not to become preoccupied with developing theories that are only tentative in the end and have very little spiritual experience. In fact, I will risk a generalization to warn you. People who are exercised and preoccupied with such things as how the star worked, or in the story of Moses and the Exodus, how the Red Sea split, and in the wilderness, how the manna fell, and in the story of Jonah, how Jonah survived the fish, and how in another scripture reference, the moon turns to blood. These are people, Mr. Piper says, who have what I call a mentality for the marginal. You do not see these folks in their expressions. You don't see in them a deep cherishing of the great central things of the gospel, the holiness of God, the tragedy of sin, the helplessness of man, the death of Christ, the justification by faith alone, the sanctifying work of the Spirit, the glory of Christ's return, and the final judgment. They always seems to be taking you down a sidetrack with a new article or book that explores the object of their curiosity. There is little centered rejoicing, he says. What is plain concerning this matter of the star is that it is doing something that it cannot do on its own. It is guiding Magi to the Son of God to worship him. There is only one person in biblical thinking who can be behind such intentionality in the stars, and that would be God alone. So the lesson is plain. God is guiding foreigners to Christ to worship him, and God is doing that by exerting global, even universal, cosmic influence and power. Luke shows God, that is, beyond Matthew, Luke shows God influencing the entire Roman Empire, so that the census comes at the exact time to get a virgin to Bethlehem and to fulfill prophecy with her delivery. And Matthew shows God influencing the stars in the sky to get foreign magi to Bethlehem so that they can worship this Christ babe in Bethlehem. This is God's design. God did it then, and God is still doing it now. God's aim is that the nations, all the nations, will, wherever they are, people, in their offices, in their homes, in their neighborhoods, in the world, that all people will be worshiping God. So at the beginning of Matthew, we have a come and see type pattern. But in the end, the pattern at the end of this story begins the go and tell pattern. The Magi came and they saw, but we, like them upon their departure, are to go and tell. In both cases, the purpose of God is the ingathering of the nations to worship God, known in this Christ child. A blessed 8th day of December and this second week in Advent to you.